Makoto in the mid lane on the Lina is going to be an absolute treat. He's really great on these sort of classic mid laners, whereas Hyde and it's going to be Hyde and Kezcute then as the support duo. Now I got to be honest with you though, Alvaro. I don't know. Kezcute as a position 5 mag, I know really all he needs to do is maybe RP 1 core and just buff Dreamocel, and that's basically his job. But I'm still a little bit nervous for it, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's a lot easier said than done, especially this game for him.
For who, sorry?
For Kezcute. I know he's got a pretty easy, just, hey, you got to do this, just buff our PA, and, you know, if you can RP the Morphling or the Kunkka or, yeah, any of those two, you're pretty good to go, right? But it's, I don't know, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to actually get that done this game.
It's just not fair.
I think that at least when we see the Magnus being played, at least as a 4 from what I've seen in it, the successful Magnus players are not so much the buffing machine that used to be the Magnus 5, are much more so playing around the skewer and the shockwave, and that's quite a good combo. And I've seen really good Magnus 4s that will actually shockwave into the skewer, which is a decent combo, and that's why I was expecting it to be played by Hyde, because I know Hyde likes playing a Wind Ranger, but Hyde's best hero, in my opinion at least, is Tiny. And he plays really similar to the Mag 4, because you're just supposed to put someone out of position, essentially. So I'm surprised it's going to be Kezcute running in. I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Boom's supports are they're not used to playing these super high mechanical heroes, and I think Mag is really...
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Boom's cores outshine their supports, right? And and that's saying something, because the cores here are really good. That's not to say the Boom supports are bad, but the cores are just so strong on this team.
Exactly. I mean, the cores are really what they shine, right? The supports are more like Kezcute in this game is definitely much more the shot caller, the captain, the one that makes sure that everyone. He's quite the veteran among the Indonesian Dota teams, so it makes sense. Like, you don't want him to be the mechanical skill. Like, you don't need him, right? That's your cores. But on a Magnus, that's when you start to doubt it a bit more. But he did go for level 1 skewer, which I like. I think it's how you're supposed to play the hero. This is a good ward, by the way, to make sure that they don't do any shenanigans. What is Whitemon doing?
I don't know.
Yeah. Kezcute's just gonna start mashing him. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out of my base! Shoot!
Bottom with you.
We are doing that the C special of having, I think, 2 supports stay top lane here for a little while, as we'll have KP and Tim both making it quite difficult here for Dreamocel. Actually, that's the courier fed 25 gold each, so hooray, half a last hit for everyone.
It's not bad. That's 150 gold total. Sorry, 125 gold total. That's
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's free money. You're gonna take it, obviously, but it's whatever.
It's more than that. At this point, you know, it's almost as much as a tower taking. It's not that bad. It's half
a last hit.
Right? It's pretty decent. Hey, I don't think you should commit suicide with your support like this, but sorry, with your courier like that. But we have seen a lot of good games. Whitemon does rotate bottom though, because as per usual, you're an enchantress. There's not much kill potential you can really bring to the lane. So the usual technique is, of course, try to get first blood. Can't get first blood, leave. But you're not doing that. Hyde. I don't know if he's dead yet. Oh yeah.
He's dead.
I checked his skills and I was like, oh no, it's power shot level 1. Yeah, no, he's...
I was like, oh, okay, there's the enchant, and I guess he is dead. Just a hard counter there. Unfortunately, the enchant is just going to absolutely do that over and over again as KP is going to get, actually not in the tower range. Maybe it was in a tower range, but creeps underneath the tower are going to take the priority aggro there. And to just fight here a little bit as they're going to contest the lane being pulled. Although Dreamocel actually getting hit by the tomato creep puts him in a little bit of a precarious situation. He's actually completely out of regen, and now Tim's connecting that second Fire Spirit here. Has got one more. They're going to shove Tim's underneath the tower here to try and punish, but that hits Dreamocel now with the Icarus dive all of a sudden. Ooh, no. Kezcute, I think, actually ended up doing Tim's a bit of a favor there.
Well. That was not great. This top lane is going quite well for the guys at TnC. They're really denying the poor PA from getting nice farm. That ward has a lot to do with it, by the way. They have a lot of liberty because this ward sees any rotations, which is very important. And this allows you to play much more aggressively because you have always the confidence that no one is TPing in to help a Mocho. In the bottom lane, unfortunately, the Night Stalker, you don't really do anything for the first 4 minutes, right? You're just there to try to farm 5 minutes. Sorry.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
And
everyone else
stuck in the last. what, 10 patches ago or so when nighttime was only 4 minutes. In the mid lane, that's where you kind of win with Mikoto, and he is doing a really good job. Like I said, the Lina does beat the Kunkka in lane for the most part because you deal too much damage for Kunkka to be able to heal it back up. But Mikoto will then have to rotate and do things to make sure you can take advantage of this.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so hard to kill a Kunkka without your level 6s. As you can see, you do a good job of getting him quite low, and then he just TPs and X-marks himself, and he's back into lane with an extra item, full HP, full mana. Especially because this timing is so nice for Armel. He's going to have 3 battle charges here. He's probably already calling the supports on over. You can start to see people starting to make their way over to the runes to start contesting here. It's time to party. You're invited. Come on down to the bottom runes, as that's where Mikoto is going to head down. His empty bottle of his own. It will be a regen.
Okay, that's really good actually for Lina.
FPZ
Probably the best rune you can get of Lina, but FPZ does die in the bottom lane because Hyde rotated. Bit of a mistake by FPZ. If your support communicates to you and goes, hey, I'm gonna go protect the rune, you don't still play aggressively, especially as Night Stalker, because you are fodder. They are gonna look to kill you. The moment they see Hyde rotating is the moment they try to kill you. I guess his Night Stalker doesn't really matter, and he already has pretty decent farm actually. He got the Earnest Shadows. Honestly, daytime Night Stalker, not that bad.
Yeah. And Mikoto, uh-oh, careful here. That's just the Ench TPing in, but you don't want to get caught underneath the tower with the enchant on you, especially if it starts attacking you like that with the cleave on top. Mikoto, nice job there. Oh no, still caught by the torrent. Armel needs a little bit more. LSA will connect onto him. There's some good damage coming through Mikoto, popping the cell, but will be cleaved down eventually by the likes of Armel.
And this is one of the weaknesses of the Lina mid, and one of the reasons why a lot of pros are quite reticent to picking this hero, which is that she is just very fragile, and immediately whatever advantage you get can be stopped by simply killing her once, right, or twice, right? And you stop her streak immediately. So Lina has to be played really carefully, and rotations are really prone for Lina. So we'll see how Mikoto can make up for this by just creating space elsewhere. Of course, your win condition is still the PA, so Lina doesn't have to do that much, but you still want her to be the most farmed hero or the strongest hero in the first, like, say, 10 minutes of the match. Finally, it's nighttime, though, so FBZ can finally play this game. However, the first nighttime is usually used for farming. If the enemy team makes a mistake, then
Dreamocel top, I think he's dead. Oh, no, they needed a bit more. Wand charge is being utilized.
Yes, he used them midair as well. Right?
Radiant's courier has
so
been
he didn't get killed by that avalanche toss combo. It's only level... It's actually level 4 tidy. Pretty decent avalanche damage. Dreamocel just pretty great.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was dead, to be honest with you. I was like so convinced. I was like, he is dead. I prescribed him with death, and he said no. He has the wand. That's the thing, right? I'm not a pro player. I didn't check the wand charges.
Yeah, well, you still are not getting that much farm on this PA. Like 21 last hits compared to Tiny's 35 or even Morphling's 27. Like Morphling on a harder lane, sure, but even he is beating Mochel by a fair amount. Here's the shackle shot. What did you say? Morphling is gonna morph for shackle shot hits?
And what is he doing now?
Well, he's morphing after because it lacked damage, but the shackle shot hit. So I'm gonna stick.
I'm telling you, dude, Gabby.
I'm gonna stick with that.
Gabby, how dare you? First of all, down Gabby Morphling. He perfectly calculated that. He knew that there's no way in the heck that they were gonna kill him just with these 2 heroes alone. He didn't even break a sweat. He saw the shackle shot coming and he says, "I don't need it yet."
I'm not gonna deny that Gabby is a monster, so yeah, sure.
That's all I'm saying. Is he had the utmost of confidence there.
He knew as well that the power shot would be mitigated by the creeps, and they're only level 1.
Yep.
Very calculated.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way he plays that confidently, that aggressively there, if he's, you know, gonna actually die to that.
Now Mikoto sees a rotation here. I mean, look at this. Like, this is how you have to play as Lina, which is what kind of sucks. You're so vulnerable to ganks that immediately you see people around your map. You're like, okay, I'm going to the other side, and you can't really fight them unless they really all come. Unless you have your teammates to support you as well, and you can make a perfect team fight. Armel, okay, he finds Keskute. I don't know if this play is the good one. Keskute gets a ghost ship off. Lina's rotating now. Keskute. Sorry, Armel gets a ghost ship off. Hits on Keskute. Keskute goes to dying. Armel just TPs in the middle of this. They have no way to cancel his TP, so he just gets away. And he forced 2 support rotations, a bunch of wasted time. He needed Lina to join in to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's true, but Armel didn't really get too much out of that. I mean, he will scout the stacks, but he's unable to take them, at least at this very moment. Dreamocel, he's already been getting bullied, so nothing new is there. And, bot lane, though, Mikoto is actually going to rotate and get a kill into Gabby. That's a big one. White on next to fall.
Night Stalker taking advantage of this. I mean, I did say it early that Night Stalker, yes, the first night is to farm, but if they make a mistake, you're going to punish 100% of the time. And now you get Dark Ascension, so you actually have kill potential now. And, of course, farm of FPZ is super important because he's going to be the spurred vessel carrier this game, which is fantastic against Enchantress, Phoenix, and the Morphling. So, really, really value pickup. Actually, it's pretty good against Kunkka and Tiny, too, because they're high HP heroes. So.
Well, Armel just kind of casually strolls on, and they're pinging like mad.
Don't let this guy take our farm!
I was like, guys, watch this. I'm about to take all of their farm right now. It's gonna be sick. Actually,
Mochel's pinging his slaves, going like, guys, why is this guy taking my stacks? Hello?
Yeah,
Sports?
They did a good job to actually have that warded there as Tim's nearby. Can't really do much. I think they definitely know that there's a ward, so he is going to be playing very, very cautiously there as to not overextend and continue giving them kills here. 4-2, a very meager lead here of 2k for TnC, but it is noteworthy here, especially with a Morphling.
I like that. I like the build that actually Mochel's going for.
Wow, that's good. KP gets a kill there. I didn't see that. I mean, KP literally just walked him. KB has phase boots.
Yeah, just phase boots. Wait, bottom lane. They got White Mon with a shackle shot. FPZ. You have to use the void. There we go. Yeah. White Mon's gonna die. He doesn't have untouchable. There's no way you're surviving this. Nice play by FPZ. And then the net. Just a spiteful net after he dies. Anyway, I like the build.
Spawning the skeletons from her corpse.
Yeah, he's going for the Mask of Madness build, which has been very popular on carries. What they do is they build Mask of Madness. You farm a lot with this item, of course, and then you disassemble it as the game goes forward for some other better items. So it's quite a useful build. A lot of carries do this when they're playing from behind. So quite smart.
Structures are fortified.
Hopefully this is enough to recover because he is not doing too well if we look at the net worth.
Yeah, and this is for PA, right? You're talking about Dreamocel?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I mean, Mask of Madness not fantastic, but you know, PA does want that Scotty basically is. I'm not Aya Scotty. Make that the satanic. That's what I'm looking for. And it's about to be daytime, so FBZ threatening. He's posturing aggressively here with the ultimate. We'll see though, as TnC they have two supports nearby that are going to give a lot of confidence here to Armel.
It's adorable, his void animation. He moves his little wings, like he's wiggling his ears. It's like, I'm gonna void you. Very cute. His Night Stalker is quite adorable, actually. I never really saw him this way. When it's nighttime, he's very scary.
How can you never think bats are adorable then? How we see a bat on the street and you go, oh my god, it's a bat.
Because bats carry rabies and you're an idiot for letting them bite you.
I just let them have a little nibble. They can have a little bite.
Just a little bit of my blood.
Just a little bit.
Even though they're fruit bats, but sure, yeah. Clearly not a sign of rabies. Anyway, Armel is gonna go for Heaven's Halberd first, which is a great way to deal with the PA, especially because of the build that she's going for, right? With the Mask of Madness, not only are you looking to farm efficiently, but you're also looking to go into some early kills, right? If the enemy team makes mistakes. And with the Heaven's Halberd, you stop any possibility of occurring.
Man, look at where Gabby is pushing around. They do not care. They're instead fighting. Mid lane, Hyde, gonna get yeeted up into the torrent, down by the boats, yeeted up again by the Tiny, and he's dead before he hits the ground at the second time.
And Hyde has taken more trips around the world than I have at this point. This guy's been to more countries in that one play.
Yeah, seriously, Tiny Airlines is the only flight taken off right there for Hyde. Special flight.
Everything else is canceled.
Everything else canceled.
Not Tiny.
Just for you, Hyde.
Well, they also have the empower to improve FBZ's farm, which they should be using as well. I think Execute was just following the PA. And Execute is doing exactly what I didn't want him to do, which is being the buffing machine. I think this kind of Magnus is very weak nowadays. It still works. It's like not unviable, but it's certainly much weaker than a much more active position for Magnus, right? Which also carries the empower with him. But they need to do this because otherwise Mochel will not.
Execute's the 5 though, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm comparing him to the typical Magnus as being played as 4.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I get that, but I guess in exchange though, they're going to be relying on a Hyde to get that initiation, the shackle shot, the wind run to force the enchant onto them to make sure that yes, this PA will still actually have the empower buff, right? She's not going to be the one getting enchanted. It's going to need to be the wind run. You can see actually she is not going for the, as you said before, she's not going to be going for the battle here straight away. Not even second item. So it's not straight into the Desolator, but second item after the Mask of Madness instead here is the decision for Dreamocel.
I wonder if the plan was to go for Mask of Madness all along, or it's just a recovery item. It's like when you see an anti-mage go Vlad, you go, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do that. He has to do that because the game went badly.
Right. But then when Envy does it, we're like, wow, he's a genius.
I can't believe it. I mean, he could have built Battle Fury by now, but the Vlad is giving him so
Envy, why did you build the Vlads? Oh, honestly, I thought I was playing like some other hero or some shit, dude. I don't know.
No, that dude thinks about like his response are much more along the lines of, no, it's OP.
It's OP.
It's OP.
Because it was
Why
good.
would I not build it? It's OP.
I knew what would win me the game, and I built it anyway, and that's good. Gabby, though, he's in trouble here, as he has mostly strength game, but they will be able to jump him here, silence up, and the RP even committed with the torrents out from Armel from the fog. In comes the boat. It's connected out to all three, and now the Supernova canceling out FBZ's move speed. Look at this. Gabby's still alive, actually, as he waveforms aggressively forward towards Makoto. Underneath the tower goes Tim's there on the Icarus dive, the two-man LSA, but Tim's still alive. FBZ, the lone survivor, finally able to get one kill. Make that two kills, actually, as he did kill Gabby. I didn't notice how he killed Gabby there.
On Gabby. Wow, used the void on. It was quite well played by FBZ, but that was so sloppy by Boom Esports as a whole. Why did the PA re-engage despite her having no farm to be able to fight this? They fought against, I mean, the initial play was fine, but the moment the Supernova and the Ghost and everything comes out, they still re-engage, allowing TnC to really take the advantage of that team fight. Now you have Spirit Vessel on FBZ, so Morphling is actually killable. I do question your choice to try to kill the Morphling before the Vessel, to be honest, especially considering it's Gabby. As we mentioned earlier, he's probably going to morph or attribute shift before you get to him.
I'm personally surprised by the fact that TnC had almost everyone there to fight. I mean, who was expecting that? Oh, right beside our tier 2 tower, right next to our outpost. We can take a fight here. All of a sudden, there's a ghost ship, there's a supernova, tinies. It's like, what? Where did these come? Where did they come from?
Which obviously Boom does. It's quite confident to do this. Like, they love doing these crazy rotations. I think KP just appears out of nowhere half the time. Like, you don't really know where he's farming, where he's doing half the game, and it's, oh, he's there. He's always has been great at rotations. TnC, when they were in their best time, it was all about how great they were at space making, how great they were at rotating, and how smart they are about what fights to take. That's the strength.
It was the best of times. It was the morph of times.
It was the morph of times, indeed. And it worked out for TnC for a while. And it's still working out now, as their style has not quite changed. FBZ runs away. Thank God it's nighttime. They do throw a Morphling on him. Morphling's not too fat, though, so it doesn't really bother me.
No,
he's just water, right? If I just threw a bucket of water on your head, it's annoying, but it's not painful.
Tim's now with the Meteor Hammer on the Bird. And look at this, actually. Whitemon is going to be capturing that outpost after they did secure that tier 2 top lane.
You know, that's tier 2 top lane. You also take the outpost with this. You completely invade over the enemy jungle. You're reducing Mochel's place to farm. And they're going for a smoke gang. Kind of a blind smoke, but it works if they just catch anyone, really. You're trying to create some more space. Oh, the Enchantress. They thought the Enchantress broke the smoke. It was actually the Kunkka, though, which messes them up. And now the Kunkka is reinitiating. And the Spirit, with a Supernova from the Phoenix that they want to. They destroy Mochel. No chance for him. Hyde also in a difficult position. He can win run away in just 2 more seconds. But Armel is on the downside. There's the X marks the spot. Tree still hits. Hyde's not going anywhere.
No.
And that will teach you to never smoke.
Pretty much. It's bad for your health, as we see there for Boom Esports. And you know what else is bad for your health is when the Gabby Morphling has a 16-minute E-Blade here, as he's decided that all he needs is the Morbid Mask, and in he goes straight into Roach. That'll give him the extra security that he needs, and I think we're about to see TnC do what they do best, and that is just be incredibly aggressive versus other SEA teams.
No, I don't know, man. TnC has been absolutely dominant this match. I don't think I've seen Boom Esports play their game whatsoever. This Lina mate has not worked out at all. No. And we did mention it's a high-risk, high-reward kind of hero, but there's a risk involved. And once they got a couple ganks on Mikoto, it was really hard for them to come back. That's the issue with Alina, and the reason why it's not picked very often. And that's why TnC is now leading.
Yep. Yeah. Another issue with it is early on you're very item dependent, or at least you know, +1 dependent for your kills, because LSA is pretty easy to dodge, generally speaking, right? As long as you're not in a terrible position otherwise, like because of terrain. But now that she has the Yule Scepter, the issue is, hold on everyone, let's wait 1.5 seconds for me to Cyclone up Gabby and allow his team to close the gap. You know, it's like, oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea either, you know? It's kind of a lose-lose situation here for them at this point. Is Armel, there he goes. He's just going to win for Kescu.
Kescu, yep, gonna go down.
Meteor Hammer.
Goodbye. I'm gonna try to go for the tower down bottom as well. I mean, the Meteor Hammer helping out. I love that the Meteor Hammer hit him in the tower as well. So it's like a full efficiency. Gabby, he's morphing full agility. When you see a Morphling that is glowing green, you know it's dangerous.
Oh, now he knows there's no Yules, but he's not gonna be that crazy. He knows that he's got to respect that Night Stalker. during nighttime.
Killed him if he had done the shotgun, but I don't think he had. It was in range though, because it's nighttime, so he didn't have vision. Morphling, I love that Morphling is so. There's this courage, right? He's actually attribute shifting, even though he's full agility already, just to show you that he is doing that. Like, run away from me, or I will kill you.
Well, it's because if he gets more experience, he wants those attributes shifted instantly.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the true efficiency of Gabby.
Yeah, some say that in some of his flawless games, he loads in, he skills up his third ability, and then he attribute shifts morph and never touches it all game.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if they can go against the tower down bottom, tier 2.
Radiant structures.
Okay, yeah, with a meteor hammer makes it easy. I absolutely love this build. I like that this build went from meme to dream, really.
Well, I love how the entire item went from meme to dream. You know,
it's pretty good.
Everyone's like, lol, you're gonna stand there for 2.5 seconds, and Phoenix is like, why would you stand when you can just fly? I mean, skreek scroff, I'm a bird. Oh, they caught one.
Hyde is another one that they kill. At this point, though, I think it's fine for Hyde to die there if he's trying to cut the lane. It's kind of what you have to do. You're in a bit of a desperate position. Oh, no. Dreamocel. Dreamocel, blink strikes. There is the Phoenix coming by. Hide in the trees. Maybe they won't forget we're here. Oh, no. Oh, no. They found Kescu. Oh, they even hit the meteor hammer. And KP will make sure that Dreamocel will also die. Egg on the spot. Where are you running to, PA? Stay here and play.
No. It's what's the recourse here even? It's like, I mean, I don't say this to me because Mikoto is one heck of a talented mid player, but it just feels like he's had no effect to this game, right?
No, it's not really the Lina's fault. I think it's a combination. I don't think Lina is the best hero when you combine it with two supports that are not great at rotating, which is, I mean, Windwinter's fine, but Magnus definitely cannot rotate, right? With Lina, I think you always need a contingency plan. And in this game, you have a pretty decent dead laner in the Wind Ranger, right? But you don't really... The second support can't cut lanes. It's Kescu has to follow like a puppy, whatever PA is doing. So you can empower her. That's why buffing Magnus has been not really used at all. Yes, you also said though, Mikoto should be fine. But Hyde might not be. Oh, even with the infused raindrops. The infused raindrops actually saved his life there, but the torrent catches him. Perfect prediction by Armel. That's why they call him captain.
All right, he picked one off. He picked Whitemon off while that was going down. So support for support, and now Armel will be stunned up once. FBZ is going to go for it, actually. The Crippling Fear onto 2. Kunkka in some trouble. Gabby is going to be running in. Kescu, oh my goodness, finally they get the kill there as the Supernova now will be canceling out that Dark Ascension. Mikoto, BKBing up. He's got one target in mind, and he wants some scrambled eggs. He might have to pick quite heavily for this one, however, as Gabby is now going to be continuing to run him out of mana, though, luckily. But there we go, a little bit of a toss to assist him, and they had enough mana there for the kill onto Lina. Gabby with the double kill there, and they might lose Armel and the Phoenix, but they pick up another kill onto Mikoto, especially after that 10-second BKB.
No, Gabby had the magic wand charges there, which of course we checked because we're not pro.
It was 3. It was 3
magic wand charges. It was enough. It was perfectly calculated. That's what always Gabby does. He still has the Aegis, by the way, so even if he dies here, it's not really that big a deal. It's about to expire in 30 seconds.
See, I'll tell you what went through Gabby's mind when he saw that dagger flying his way. He went, okay, he clicked on the PA's items, he did mental math, he did the calculations in his head, and he says, I need to shift 3 points into strength in case she gets the ultimate crit, and then it didn't crit, and he's like, okay, I'm fine.
Exactly. There's really not much else. I mean, right now, Boom is kind of dreaming for that, right?
Yeah.
Really. Dreamocel just has to hope that they get a really good crit on a Morphling that's not really
explained. Really? A tiny Yule Scepter? I mean, I like it. I like it.
It's actually kind of common on the offlane, right? You're more of a utility tiny.
There's Aegis
like
expiring.
4 tinies will also go for it, too.
But I don't think it's going to stop Windrunner from dying. Hyde is just getting, lucky not to get killed by their own power shot.
I think they're just playing at this point, honestly. TnC knows they're so far ahead. And Boom Esports doesn't have space to farm at all. And that's the worst case scenario. Like, you pick up Magnus just so you have an automatic Battle Fury, and then you don't have creeps to farm. That sucks. That's the worst.
Really is going to screw him over if Armel can actually reach him.
Nice Stalker can still also be kind of relevant. The FPC is actually going for a really greedy build of the Aghanims, which might not be a crazy idea, honestly, because you need a secondary carry to bring some damage if Mikoto cannot really bring it, as Mikoto's playing more of utility. I like the choice of Mikoto to go in for those Boots of Travel. He understands he needs to take the role of the guy that's cutting lanes, because nobody else can really do it. It's really him and Hyde.
Is it better than... I mean, the pipe doesn't really stop a Morphling, though.
No, that's why. Like pipe, yeah, will save your supports from dying, but by that point, you might as well buy infused raindrops.
Cascute is just getting yeeted, skeeted. He's up in the air once, twice, thrice, and the tree finally drops. And so does he. Dead for 30. He has just kind of been food this match, unfortunately.
Dire's middle
So,
tower is under
Aghanim's on
attack.
Dreamocel. Okay, actually, interesting choice. I like this very much, actually. He really knows how to play a game from behind. He went for Mask of Madness and Ags because they both help him farm more securely, and they both help him cut lanes as well. They are still hoping to win this game, and they're doing the right choices for it. The right steps towards that win. But is it going to be enough? We'll see now as Hai gets blown up by Gabby, who has a Lincoln Sphere, by the way, to make sure he can't even get the surprise crit there.
Yeah. He was out too, though.
They try to initiate on the Morphling. He's been silenced. He can morph in time. They can kill him with a Laguna Blade. Gabby's down. And they managed to defend their towers as well. They evade the Ghost Ship. FPZ still powerful, going for KP. They slow him down the Stifling Dagger. Mikoto has a Life Strike Array, but the Avalanche stopped him from coming out. Instead, they're just going to kill him with good old damage. No need for the stuns, just need for the hits.
Yeah.
And that KP will go down. Supernova has been used on the right side, but they're all positioning well, so they don't die to this. They cancel the TP by Whitemon, but they could have canceled Kunkkas instead. However, they didn't see him in time, and as Whitemon is... The Phoenix manages to TP in time. Well played! Well played by Boo.
Yeah, it was a pretty defensive egg, but not really much else he could have done. Yeah, very well played indeed. Just, I think a bit too aggressive out from Gabby, if I'm being quite honest with you. Just unnecessary to really kill the Windrunner like that. Unnecessary to be so aggressive and really put yourself into that precarious of a situation. I mean, maybe if you have a Dispel on your team, right? If someone has a Force Staff for you, but that's not the case. We have Yule Scepters to use aggressively, but that's, you know, way too far. Lina standing way too far away for your allies to use that.
I think maybe they should have helped you. Like, I think maybe KP should have been closer to him if you want to go for that play. Like, you can't always blame the person that goes in. Sometimes it's a miscommunication with your team as well, right? Because they did have ways to stop Night Stalker from running out.
Yeah.
They just didn't use him.
Yeah, I see that. I see
in fact,
that.
KP could even toss him back, right? Which chose again not to do. Well,
That's true. That's true. I didn't notice where KP was when that was kicking off. Yeah,
he was too far away. Which again, is it hard? Is that necessarily one person or the person's fault? It's hard to say. But it was a mistake overall. Yeah, sure. But also really well played by Boom. Kind of surprising, baring their teeth. Mm-hmm. I like that they're still in this to some degree, right? Fight it till the bitter end. Don't just give up and play sloppy. Like, actually try to play this game. Go for a contingency plan. This is exactly the play you have to go. Even Cascute is trying to cut lanes, however useless this hero is. It's not bad. And now you have Force Staff, by the way. They're like, we're not letting this happen again.
Yep. Force Staff. Good item. Good item. Yeah, you can see already 2 Force Staffs being queued up to help fix that mistake. The supports are going to do whatever they can to make... to facilitate the aggressive play, because they know how strong Gabby is. He just needs a little bit of help sometimes, you know, as we all do.
Radiant's
This Aghanim's build has allowed him to
bottom tower
actually
is under
recover nicely in terms of farm, which is not bad at all. Because he's farming constantly with a blur. And of course, in teamfights also makes it easier because he doesn't happen to get a kill. He continues to go further. So there is a chance of just like a complete comeback, right? And that's one of the slight hidden advantages of the Ags. And if you do manage to get a really good team fight, Ags enables you to take the most out of that team fight in terms of killing.
How do you stop Gabby from shotgunning you with the Morphling? Make it so that he can't target you.
Literally, right? Blur is a great way to do that. Actually, a good point. I didn't really consider that, but as a side benefit of the Ags as well in this game. Really smart.
Yep.
And you can go BKB as well. That's going to help you a lot against the Morphling. Not bad. I mean, I don't think you should contest this Roshan. Just let him have it.
Basically, they saw that Gabby had a frickin' 13 or 14 minute E-Blade, and then Dreamocel went, haha, PA goes blur.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Here as well. There's no interest in contesting that Roshan there, as Dreamocel's just going to be farming his way back towards his triangle. But you can see he knows the game plan. He knows where this game is going. It's BKB into Divine Rapier time already.
Yeah, man. Honestly, PA is one of the few heroes where I think this is kind of viable because of how much Divine Rapier gives you, right? And it's pretty good. You need to go for the contingency plans. Don't try to play this safer because you're just going to lose slower. And losing slower is still losing. It doesn't really matter at what time the game is. Just because it wasn't
Dota is not a game where you go, oh, well, their Ancient was only on 100 HP. Sorry, you still lost, fam.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same. Like, if we watch a stomp or watch a team lose by a 60-minute hard game, at the end, it's still a L in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. If it comes down to group stages and you qualifying and you lost a game, but you lost it in 95 minutes, sorry.
And the most important part, Twitch chat will flame you regardless.
It is true. KP, though, he has found Kescute, as he will be dragged back. Yeah, Kescute is... He is
doing a good job, actually, of starting to cut the lanes. I thought that Magnus really couldn't do this, but now that PA has been more farming power on herself, it's easier for him to play a bit away from her and cut the lanes like this.
Oh, no,
while the Wind Ranger or Mikoto play the dead lane. So
yeah,
honestly, they're doing a good job.
They're maybe baiting Mikoto here. They have Tims here ready to jump in, probably Yule Scepter combo just to call in reinforcements. But good job on Mikoto. Oh, now he's shown. They're gonna go for it. No,
well,
he is. There's no rotations though, so I think he's maybe just.
Did you see that combo attempt by Tims? Jules into the meteor hammer.
Yeah, that's
madman.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good one. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens, right? You're gonna complete the Icarus dive. The worst thing that happens is those 2 items go on cooldown. You waste 300 mana.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's that, right? You might as well try, because if you land it, you go, guys, I caught the Lina. Let's go, and that turns into a kill. 300 mana for that any day of the week.
You're totally right. And for now, TnC, because of all the lane cutting that Dreamocel is doing as well in the mid lane, they're actually having a tough time pushing entirely.
Yep.
Dreamocel right now is just making sure that he can stop the lanes as much as possible. However, that bot lane is a bit difficult for them because that's where Kescute died. They know they're there, so they're probably just gonna let these racks go, to be honest, and try to fight it out.
Mikoto needed one more hit there. Sorry, he rolled low on a few damage there and needed a bit more. Yeah, probably let the racks go. We'll see. It is about to be daytime though, so maybe FBZ is feeling a little bit antsy here about letting them push again during the day. Against Aegis, I feel like you're just kind of willing to let them take this one for now. Lina is back though now with the MKB, so maybe that's going to change their mind here a bit.
Yeah, I mean, with Dark Ascension, and now that you see the Ags as well, I mean, the Ags is also really good, but it commits the same thing as before, which is just you push lane super quickly. And with Power Shot, yeah, Void, and that's all lane gone. And yeah, backdoor protection still breaks, but it immediately gets put back, so you can't reliably run on this. And they're doing a good job of delaying this game, while Dreamocel continues to farm.
Just an important note, maybe it'll make a difference here. Armel does have an Illusion Rune bottled, so he does have a Dispel or a Manta Dodge.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
In his pocket.
That can help him a lot.
Just you know, you never know. You never know. That might make a difference.
Kescute tries to go for the cheeky play. Nope. You can't touch water, my friend. Meteor Hammer just used on these racks to try to bring them down. Gabby still has Aegis, so he can play much more aggressively, try to take his first life, but Sunray heals him too much. And he morphed before anyway.
Yep. I told you.
It's going to be...
He's going to morph.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They let him die. I think this is the right play, because it was clear that Dreamocel can continue to push this mid lane easily, thanks to the Ags. And you've also pushed that top lane by a lot. So.
Yeah. And at that point, you're going, all right, we got to blink on our mag, right? We got to blink on hide. If they make the same mistake, we are going to punish them even harder here. Even Lina was starting to chunk him there with the MKB procs. But Dreamocel now, he's got items. He's got the Demon Edge here. Nearly enough money for the full Rapira. Do you just kind of buy it? Or do you go BKB first?
I don't know. It's quite the risky play to go for the Rapier without BKB, right? Because then a single stun can just drop right before the enemy team. I think there's one of the situations where you go, you see how much you can push the envelope in this game and how much you can elongate it, and then if you need to do it, then you need to do it, right? But if not, you'd rather go for the BKB first, certainly.
Mikoto was licking his chops there at the time. That was stuff that they go, no, Mikoto, don't do it, don't do it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Another problem is here, eventually they will push, if only with the Phoenix Meteor Hammer combo alone. I mean, look at Gabby's already on the high ground. This tower is about to go down if he sticks around any longer. What'll it be? Dreamocel in the secret shop? Oh, he locked it. He's done it. He's got the relic. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, and in case you're unaware, right? PA Battle Flurry, if you kill someone under the guise of blur, it refreshes all of your abilities, right? Oh, just to kill?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Even better. And there it is. Divine Rapier activated. They're going to smoke out of the base. We'll see who they can find.
Yeah, they won't be able to tell immediately that he has a Rapier because it's hard to tell with the PA's damage.
It's hard to tell.
And stop asking why I went for Axe. We've explained it like to a ridiculous degree, and it has worked. I mean, now you've even seen the game where you literally predicted this was going to happen, and it's worked really well for them.
Here they go. Here they go. Smoke,
okay,
smoke,
Lina,
smoke.
Lina starting.
And they'll break.
This is a really crazy play by Lina, though. Not in the best position. Yeah, they stop her. She has BKB though to get away. There's FPT. Nice RP! 1, 2, 3! Can they make this work? They can. Armel's falling. So is Gabby. The super no combo though has hit. It's gonna complete. They can't really stop this, but they've already destroyed the main damage dealers, so there's no way for TnC to come back into this fight, and it's KP alone without his friends. His heart's broken, and now so is his face.
Goodness gracious me. Oh god, poor White Mom. Well, was just standing there. He's like, I got untouchable. I'm fine. Dreamocel crits him for 2,400. Gabby actually dying there to the spill. It's not spill because that's TA, but to the cleave damage as well, thanks to the empower. And you know, what I was saying earlier was, man, it's good that they have the Windrunner because we need PA rather to have the empower. So, but it doesn't even matter because she's just always invisible. How do you kill this lady now?
It's the power of the edge, dude. Mosel really understood this, and now they have almost enough gold for him to get the BKB as well. And that's exactly what you needed as PA. That rapier was a huge turnaround. TnC was not expecting it because he didn't reveal it in his inventory until then either.
And now we almost have a BKB as well. Just 500 more gold. And of course you're buying out for that BKB.
Yes. And honestly, to me, everyone in Boom has been playing so well. That RP by Kescu was incredible. We were doubting, you know, because you're not used to playing these kind of heroes in the 5 position. But God, I eat my words happily. What an RP.
Oh no, it's I don't want to say it's just FBZ. He's got the TP out, but he's got really serious damage to contend with. Luckily, Gabby is not going to be able to land to him for too long.
I like that they're all taking turns playing the dead lane, right? Because they all can be kind of virtual dead laners. In fact, they've all built themselves to be kind of these lane pushers, trying to cut creeps, and they're all taking turns to make sure that it's hard to really guess. Like, TnC has to guess who it is first before they know how to engage against them. So. Oh,
Makoto, not like this. You still have a BKB, though. You'll Scepter to try and dodge it, but Armel, he's going to be too wise for that. Are you going to get perma-stun to death? You are. 90 seconds, no buyback.
I don't think you can afford to play like that cheeky and risky when you just need to BKB and not die, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand his idea, but Armel is definitely gonna... Look at this. He's a silver tier Kunkka, man. He knows how to play against the
That's Platinum, my friend.
Oh, Platinum? Oh, I've never seen that, so that's why I guess I don't know. Yeah, Platinum tier Kunkka. Even more reason. My highest hero is gold. I'm sorry.
Well, play more of the same hero. KP, nice toss though. He's gonna find FBZ, but he's the BKB and Dark Ascension now. They do have the X mark to get Gabby back to safety, but the Void just connecting onto everyone. FBZ not sure who he wants to go for, so he's just gonna say and stay out. End up getting back over, just farming a little bit, I guess.
Straight to
zoning Dark Ascension, but actually because they need the Lina to fight.
Bounty.
Oh, very, very well done. I think, considering the circumstances for FBZ, I think it was still fine because you're just trying to... Like, you really were just trying to kick him out once you realized you were forced to use the BKB Dark Ascension, right? And the kind of get out of my swamp was the best you could muster. You didn't really want to commit to anyone in particular because then you would die. So you forced him out, you pushed the lane in the meantime. It's okay. TnC still has the upper hand this game, by the way. We just saw one good team fight with Boom, but they still have the upper hand. It just isn't as big as before.
Yeah. Yeah,
BKB on most.
They have it. I mean, and mostly I think this is going to be notable in the farm of their supports, right? I mean, look at Tiny. Tiny almost. Tiny's not a support, but look at Phoenix, right? Phoenix has got nearly enough. I presume that's going to be a Shiva's guard, but I think they're gearing up for a fight around Roche here. So it will be a pretty fast spawn, as it will be scouted first by Tims, thanks to the courier. TnC, they have no wards on the enemy side of the river, though, so they've got no clue. They know that they're all nearby because, well, somebody one-shot that hill troll. They're not sure who. Who could it be? Could it be? There's 4 daggers in it.
The Dreamocel they've been playing a game of Clue this whole game. Where is Dreamocel? Did he kill him with a dagger in the top jungle?
He was murdered with a divine rapier. His armor was all melted off. He molded the armor. There we go. The courier battle's now starting as they're going to scout. Look at all the couriers around here, by the way. Just 3, but everyone's just ready. Now 4, actually. We do have one in the secret shop, and that is Armel's. What are you purchasing, sir? A Satanic. Okay. That'll do, but the problem is, Gabby, you need to be on a little bit more strength here for you to not get accidentally one-shot by a PA that you can't see.
I mean, I guess that's true, but he does have Linkets, though, right? So Linkets.
I mean, that's not going to stop the spill damage, though.
No, it's true.
That's what he died to last time.
Yeah.
Lina did the bulk of the damage after they bursted to his Lincolns, but he actually ended up dying in 2 seconds after they stunned him once. But they're going to be trying to invade the enemy triangle here. Dreamocel actually the first to go. He's going to scout Gabby. The blur is going to end now. They have the X mark on the Dreamocel. He has the 10-second BKB and the Divine Rapier. They're unwilling to jump on him, but Mr. Stomp's doing his best to keep him locked down. In the meantime, FBZ now running at them. There's going to be the hard counter. No, FBZ, no. It is still daytime, my friend, with the Phoenix, but he is able to outlast him there. Night Stalker might be turning. KP getting a little bit of a heal. Nice force stab down to the low ground as Hyde. Good shackle shot. The Yule Scepter there as Makoto now. Oh, another great stop. That might save the life of Amel, but Dreamocel now jumping right back onto him as KP still alive on the new tower. There's going to be the RP now, but they only catch Gabby. And with the Satanic active, who's barely locked down. 3 heroes now dead for the side of Boom Esports as Tiny will buy back. That's all that TnC have lost. And now it's Boom Esports in full retreat. That did not go the way they were looking for.
You don't have the sand.
I don't know if sloppy is the word. I think they maybe overcommitted. It was really well played by TnC, to be honest. KP survived such a ridiculous amount of damage there. Like, he was kiting them over and over again. Night Stalker was forced to do that. Really well timed on the Supernova, right? Because they took away the Dark Ascension tower. I think overall TnC just played that really, really well. Now they know that the enemy team can one-shot them or can destroy them if they're not careful. So they're playing this much more defensively. And repositioning that fight so they were close to their tier 2 was really, really smart. Because yes, Boom had the high ground, but they had the help from tier 2. Let's not forget, one of the advantages of the towers is the extra armor aura, which people kind of forget. But against a PA, particularly important, right? So once they did that, PA was not so confident in going in. They reduced the damage a lot from the Night Stalker and from the Lina, from the Wind Ranger. Magnus was forced to use an RP just kind of defensively so they could escape. So really well played by TnC.
PA does have now buyback and still BKB. Looking for that Satanic there to disassemble that Mask of Madness, which they built first item. The tower well within deny range here for the side of Boom Esports, but now Page's son Morphling has the tower. Will actually get denied by Makoto. Didn't really expect the Mad Lad to do it. I think there's a refresher charge on Tim for the Cheese on Tiny. Yule Scepter onto one, but KP does a good job interrupting Makoto. Nearly dead, forced to BKB. He learned his lesson from last time, and that's going to be them, the enemies off the high ground. But it will be daytime in 30 seconds. I think TnC, they just need to bite their tongue here for just a little bit longer, just to ensure that they can get the utmost advantage here. By the way, just a little interaction with you. Night Stalker does not lose his flight if he has activated Dark Ascension and he has the buff, but he loses his passive and he loses his move speed, most importantly. If when Phoenix overrides his nighttime with the Phoenix Super Sun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we talked about this in another cast, but not in this one, right? So Sunray, you said that Supernova is the highest priority in terms of changing day-night cycle.
Correct.
Then is Dark Ascension, then is Eclipse. So that's the reason why they're using Supernova to try to cancel.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if Supernova or Eclipse has. Sorry, I don't know if Eclipse or Dark Ascension has higher priority because they both make it night, so it's hard to test. I just know that the Supernova supersedes both of them as Gabby. Just about 5-shotting there, the mid lane of Barracks. Minotaur Horn, though. Hey, that's a serious item there for RPA, who's looking to farm up a few more items.
You can't let them take the 3 racks, though. They need to back out and force a fight at this point. Not much you can do. Oh, the Shadow Blade, Skewer. They have RP as well. I think this Morphling might die, but don't commit the RP because of the ages.
Holy moly, what did he morph into? He was out of there in a second.
I'm not actually sure. Oh, Wind Ranger.
Okay.
I mean, I told you, the Morphling turns into Wind Ranger's a strong counter.
It is really good. It is really good.
Like, Infamous abused this so much so that they actually forced everyone to ban Morphling and Wind Ranger against them. That was smart though by Kescuta, holding on to the RP because they knew the Aegis was up.
We're close to a few 25s. Just on the Lina, really. Of course, Morphling, RPA as well, is going to be getting there. That's going to be exciting to look at. But of course, keeping buyback status up for now. That's going to be the most important difference maker here, for the time being anyway. We do have a Shadow Blade up as well here for Makoto, so that could maybe help him land that initial LSA from Invis. So you're not really looking for, the Shadow Blade Shadow Walk active damage, more so just getting the jump on the Morphling, popping Lincolns with Yule Scepter, and then hitting him in the face with a Lumina Blade.
Yeah, exactly. And similar with Magnus and the Shadow Blade, right? You're just looking to get the RP or the Skewer off.
Of course. AoE abilities cannot be blocked by the Lincolns, as you all know. So that's going to be
It's Magnus really who has to do this. The
Radiant's bottom tower is under
That's what I
attack.
mean. I mean, that's the position 5 Magnus. You know, it's no disrespect to the player, but that's kind of all he really needs to do this game, right? He gave the Empower buff. He followed around. You know, he had to sniff all the farts of PA on the way over to make sure that she had Empower the entire game, and now it's paying off, right? Because this is one heck of a game here. 42 minutes. Yes, a 12K lead. Yes, you know, TnC. I think the ball's in their court here, but Boom Esports still definitely not out of this game.
I love when teams really try to bitter end and they have contingency plans, and it's nice to see this, especially after some teams that just seem to give up after the game didn't go their way. It's nice to see this refreshing pull of air by Boom. Criticize them all you want if they lose, but this is the kind of matches that you want to see. These exciting hype matches. Like for example, where Dreamocel is looking for initiation, but currently they're just pushing with a Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, they're pushing with Meteor Hammer. They're pushing with Morphling with the X mark.
The PA.
What is going on here?
Look
PA?
at where she's going.
Yeah, she's wrapping around.
I think
it's Mad Lass.
Oh yeah, great. That's the right.
If she can blow up Tim's, that'd be amazing.
They have so many cheese ways of pushing. Did you see this? Toss X marks the spot.
Armel, he's jumped in. I'm sorry. I mean Makoto Whiteman. He's just dead. He was assassinated by a Phantom
With a knife.
There was nothing there. Oh, but Gabby, he's gonna land the 2-man shackle shot. No, get the jump in. FBZ. He's absolutely dead. He needs to buy back, but he does have it. Luckily, the Sun Ray as well out from the Supernova.
Pop back. What? The X marks the spot. No. How? It must have been.
It was toss. It was toss.
Oh, it's the toss. He popped back in the middle of the toss. I cannot believe that.
That is gotta be so frustrating. It must have been toss. There's nothing else that'll do it.
Yeah, because the X was not on cooldown. Yeah, it must have been the toss.
Well, because you're completely purged of everything, right? You cannot dispel X, but death dispels it.
Yeah,
the toss is stupid, and it does not work like that.
Oh, the PA needs to do a magical play. I also love, by the way, in that play was like Dreamocel was going to go in. They get a shackle shot. They go, you guys are noobs. You guys deserve to die. Like, I'm leaving you there.
It's unfortunately PA she needed a bit more patience there, right? You can't settle for the Ench. You know there's more people there. Right.
Well, I don't know if that was the I think they were just looking to reduce their numbers and then going with an initiation, and then that shackle shot surprised them, and then they couldn't really do much against it.
I mean, I guess so, but I think PA does not need to be the one that who immediately follows Hyde's shackle shot. She should be the one that ganks the reinforcements, if that makes sense, right?
Careful. I don't think it's over just yet, even with Naya creeps, but they need to defend this, I think. Okay, Gabby. Nice took array. Yes. Forced him down. Gabby's gone.
Dead. Deleted.
It's the second time this happens to him. Dreamocel going further, looking for the Phoenix Supernova's use. He did have a pressure shard earlier, which is why they can fight this. The Hex on the Lina, and Lina's also destroyed. Supernova a bit too strong, but Dreamocel, he's happy to continue fighting. They have an E-blade to stop Dreamocel from hitting. Armel trying to stop him with the X-Mark spot. There's the Yolster as well, tossing in, giving them more time. Dreamocel wants to jump. He has the extra blink strike range, but he can't find anyone. As they cancel a Phoenix DP, it's Mikoto who does this, going for Armel as well. They're trying to go for everyone, and they're accomplishing with an RP. There we go. The mid is down, and they finally get the kills they were looking for. Tim's the next target. There's no more Supernovas for this bird. He's out of refresher shards, which means he's also out of life.
Yeah, and like I said, that's really what the Shadow Blade is for on the Lina, right? Just simply lands an LSA, breaks Lincoln's with the Yule Scepter and Laguna Blade to the face, and he is absolutely deleted. PA, of course, definitely helping out there by quite a bit. But my goodness, they did get Megas, right? No, actually, they didn't. They didn't get Megas. And yeah, that's TnC yet again. I think that's the second time they've left bodies on the high ground here. And Boom Esports, I think there's blood in the water. They are absolutely going hard now. You can see, what is Phantom Assassin bot here? What does she have coming her way? Oh, just mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right, so they're going to try and force buybacks here, as we will be cutting the top wave here with FBZ. Good tower damage as well out from Makoto.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Dreamocel has gone for the triple daggers as well.
They're not buying back, huh? They know that if they waste their buyback here and they make a mistake, they're done. So they preserve it. Losing one lane of Rax is not a big a deal, but there's this lonely Rax, these melee Rax would go, which is important for Boom Esports, just keeping their game kind of alive. They're also looking for the Roshan. If they're lucky that Roshan spawns in 4 seconds, Icefront wants them to win, right?
We'll see here. How long of a Roche timer will it be? It's a short one.
Shortest possible.
No, short is 10 seconds.
Yeah, the second shortest possible.
Yep, second. But yeah, it's a good one here. But TnC, they're still going to be alive though to fight this one. Ultis, available all around the horn, actually. We're still waiting for that RP, so save for RP back up in 25 seconds as Roshan about to respawn. Everyone say hello to Roshan as he's going to be carrying this time.
So much good respect. It's not G, it's go when ready.
Yep.
That's the true respect phrase, right?
A full Abyssal Blade, by the way, for Phantom Assassin. She's fully bought out here, so just full, I'm going to win this game or we're going to die trying.
She did go for the corruption, so I think this is not too difficult of a competition. She's a bit lucky with the crits.
Yep.
And TnC's none the wiser because like there's no way the Roshan spawned in the fastest possible time or second fastest possible time.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they're going to be up for a rude awakening as we have now Agnes Blessing for Lina. That's going to be... Oh, she actually went for the Fiery Soul. That makes sense. So it's only going to be, I think, 980 damage. Only 900 pure damage that produces BKB.
This year you're going for the spell amp.
Spit on that.
It's double Laguna Blade as well, though, so it's 1800 damage, essentially.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. I think at this point, I would personally, if I were Makoto, I would actually swap in my Hex for the Scythe of Ice.
Radiant's top tower is under
Hex for the Scythe of Ice, interesting. How would you swap those two?
Well, she dropped Refresher, because you want to refresh Scythe. You don't want to Yule someone twice. You use Yule because you pop Lincolns, you Scythe, and then you Laguna, refresh, or refresh Laguna.
I understood what you meant. I just, okay, you said refresh.
Well, because he needs a slot. He needs a slot. Either way, it's not going to matter. They're going to give it over to Cascute.
Okay.
So a lot of pressure. No pressure, big man. All right? Now's your time to shine.
RP is also a better spell to have two of, right? Because yes, the first damage is nice, but imagine getting a double RP on the Morphling. It's 5 seconds. Morphling and not doing... You're telling me PA can't deal that much damage in 10 seconds?
It's not 5 seconds, though, is it?
Sorry, 6 seconds.
Because he's got the status.
7 seconds. Yeah. 7 seconds and like 10.5 seconds.
Yeah, but he's got status resist, doesn't he?
Oh, that's a very good
30%. That's what I mean. I feel
that's
like
why I think it's more or less 5 seconds, and you lose 30% of around that.
I'd rather just take the damage. I don't know. I'm being picky about it. Mostly because I'm a Lina player, but it's whatever.
Yeah, it's not. The RP here is much better because the PA is the damage anyway.
Give me damage or give me E-Blade to the face.
Much more of just attribute shift the damage away, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I used my refresh.
Not if I Scythe them.
I like the choice on Cascute, and Dreamocel will just deal the damage there. I think it's the right choice, 100%. Yeah, it's triple strike, stifling dagger as well. A lot of PAs these days are actually going for the crit because it does add a bit more damage to the PA, but the triple strike will also help you farm. Oh no, this tiny Kaipi. Oh wait, maybe he's just.
Oh whoa.
Okay, let's use the RP. Sure, it works.
Sure, whatever.
Honestly, yeah, why not? You still have the refresher to surprise with the second RP, and Kaipi's dead, or KB's dead, sorry.
They're gonna get ratted though. Look at Gabby. Look at Gabby. Gabby's like, ooh, I'm gonna be a rat. Look at me. Here I go.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He's not gonna decide to go for it actually, but the creep wave there, double fortified to try and keep him alive. It's gonna be the rest of Boom Esports. Lina role playing as sniper all the way outside of the tier 3 range, trying to do as much damage as possible here. Oh, Gabby, a rat. Okay, there we go. We got the exterminators here for him though. And we'll push him back.
Gabby managed to keep time. That's good. They're both trying to do the same thing though. They're both trying to do the same thing. Gabby's tried to split push, Dreamocel as well. Gabby's actually now TnC's kind of starting to realize that maybe they're in the losing position, right? And they have to start making contingency plans themselves.
I mean, yeah, actually, they have lost their advantage in net worth. Look at this Makoto. Makoto, oh no, no, Gabby, no, oh, all for the bounty.
Very anticlimactic way to lose your life.
Well,
was that with Shadowblade, Lina?
Yeah. Again, Shadowblade.
Dire's courier has been killed.
He was right all along. Sure enough, kicked him from VP. But that's years ago. Yeah, it worked out for them. It's quite nice. The Morphling still has buyback though, so it's not completely lost, but it's just looking kind of bad for TnC. And I really don't want them to lose this way. Right? Of all ways, I don't want the comeback to happen because your Morph is farming the triangle.
Well, that's not the reason the comeback has happened, though. Let's be honest.
That's true. It's much more
I mean, I understand what you're saying. We want to see a full epic team fight, but yeah, biased caster.
For both teams somehow, right? For both teams. I'm supporting both of them. What a biased.
I just want everyone to have fun, as Dreamocel is now going to get the luxury and the privilege of actually destroying some buildings of their own now.
Can they take Mega Creeps in this time? They want to force the buyback, and Morphling is going to happen. I don't think you can fight. I mean, it's not like, maybe it's a Mega Creeps versus Mega Creeps game, honestly.
It certainly could be. It certainly could be here, Aldo. That's what it's looking like.
Dreamocel nuking the wave like there's no tomorrow. Alright, they're really not committing that buyback.
And they really don't want to. They're also, I mean, look just like where FPC is playing now. Just threatening.
Nice try.
Okay, toss with the Hex. There's the buyback now onto the PA. Can they actually keep her alive? Yes, they can. My goodness.
What a dumb talent.
Phantom Strike, dude. Just OP. See you later. They might turn? Maybe?
Turn.
Okay.
I mean, they just forced the buyback, so this is pretty good. This is what they wanted. Dark Ascension, bring it back. FPC has BKB. They shackle shard the Kuka, though. And FPC just starts to pummel him, but where's the follow-up? Dreamocel's rethinking this. He's like, yeah, maybe not.
He's got the fleet. He's got the whole flotilla here as well. They, the Torrent actually from Armel, I think, held back the Lina or someone, so they were like, nah, it's fine. Let's not go crazy here. But my goodness, now all of a sudden, 12K advantage here. We have flipped the script here within the past 13 minutes when we were looking close to 15K here in favor of TnC.
Money to burn.
And TnC definitely still has a chance. This buyback, though, puts him in a really difficult position because PA, I mean, you know how the hero goes, right? Like, you fight against her, all of a sudden she gets a lucky crit, and you're done, and you really can't do much against it. And this is why PA is so good against Morphling, not just because of the burst damage, but usually Morphlings at the really high level, you're used to attribute shifting just the right amount of survival damage, right? But you can't because PA is completely random. You really cannot predict when this coup de grace was going to hit you. In fact, in some situations...
You in French words. Can you please say a cheese omelet for me?
What? A cheese omelet?
Omelette de fromage, please?
Fromage. It's omelette du fromage. I don't even speak French that well. But yes, my accent is actually awful, but it's just yours is so much more awful than mine.
Well, it's because I learned from Dexter's laboratory.
Anyway, the smoke screen, the smoke from TnC, seeing if they can initiate. You put me on the spot with the French, I got nervous. Let's see what they do with the smoke, because this is one of those Hail Mary smokes where, yeah, if you catch someone, you win the game, but if you don't, it's fine. You didn't really waste this, honestly. But Boom, both teams just keeping completely together. They know a single play breaks the game, and now it's Boom's turn to go for a Hail Mary smoke. Do they have vision of them? No, they don't. They haven't seen them at all, right?
This is incredible. One Divine Rapier just absolutely changes the game. You know, Winter, if you're watching the game, he probably hates it. Probably hates this. He does not enjoy when games turn on a dime like this. You play so good all game, and to be honest though, probably not. Probably not. I think he'd be okay with this one. We'll see. No Aegis though. But Boom Esports again up 14K. Looks like they're gonna make another charge here towards the base of TnC Predator. As still, 3 barracks are alive in this game. One of them is going to be the melee barracks top lane for Boom Esports, and both top barracks alive here. Dreamocel, though, onto 2. He's in a good position of potential, but they're going to play defensively here. He's not confident in what he sees, but KP is a very easy target. Forced after the low ground before the nullifier can connect. He does have some cheese he can consume, and down he goes. Oh, Phoenix. Tim's has been caught here as well. The LSA will connect onto him. That's going to be a nice stun. And look at that. Down goes Whitemon. 2 buybacks already after the sport, but Whitemon without buyback here. So they have caught Dreamocel, but they just don't have vision. The blur, the invis, the triple dagger now as Tim's or KP make it getting stunned up here as well. Look at the damage, 2,600 crits now. So is he gonna actually brawl versus Armel? No, they're gonna back up for now. Avo.
X. Bring it back. That was a really good nullifier onto the Yule Scepter to dispel. Looked very smart here by FPZ. Used it before he actually went up in the air because it's a very slow projectile, but you actually can't target Yule Scepter smart there. And you continue further. You're gonna take the Mayor Creeps for sure, but the Mayor Creeps, actually the Creeps themselves, it was the Enchanter's Creep, the real MVP. We're gonna see a Mayor Creep versus Mayor Creep game. Armel trying with a Torrent. Dreamocel, perhaps Armel is his target, but he's keeping his distance. He wants to make sure nobody can target him right now. The Hex on Armel, they can turn this into a kill. There goes the crits, and Armel's done for. The RP hits the Morphling. You can't save him anymore. He turns into Wind Ranger. It's not going to be enough. The Dragon Slave brings him down for 2 whole minutes, and now it's Armel against the world with a Phoenix helping out, even with a Spanish Armada. Armel is not going to win this. Yet again, the Invincible Armada will sink. Armel will die. Tims will follow through, and it's going to be Boom doing the comeback of the century against an almost lost game. Boom does the impossible, and they beat TnC.